Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's RigER webinar. Today, we will talk about Oilfield Enterprise Asset Management, its challenges and solutions. Oilfield Enterprise Asset Management has been playing a critical role in the oil and gas industry for years. While traditional asset management systems such as spreadsheets provide some clarity for asset status, they lack structure, real-time visibility, and data interoperability. We at RigER spent countless hours on customer job sites conducting interviews with technicians, asset managers, dispatchers, purchase managers, and even talking to their customers to learn about the everyday challenge they face when it comes to managing assets. These studies and discoveries became base of RigER Oilfield Operations Management solution, and we are going to share our experience during this webinar. We will talk about the challenges of oilfield asset management and relative equipment lifecycle. We will show and explain what features RigER has for asset management and share with you some user cases. Our presenters today are Michael and Nikolai, and I would like to pass the microphone to Nikolai, who is a VP of Business Development here in RigER, and he'll talk a bit about who we are and what we do. Hello, Nikolai.
Hi, Dasha. Thank you very much for the intro, and welcome everyone again. So here you can see even me on the picture, and what we're going to touch on today is the main challenges, how to manage asset, what the cycle of the asset in RigER looks like, and we'll also describe some of the key features of the system, as well as sort of the use cases at the same time. And you will always have an opportunity to ask us additional questions. And as Dasha might have mentioned, there is a Q&A icon at the bottom of the screen if you're using a Windows computer. So feel free to type up your questions as they come up, and we'll be able to answer them at the end. Okay, so let's roll. For those of you who are new to RigER, I just wanted to quickly overview with you what RigER is and where we come from. So we originated about 10 years ago to address the main challenge, how to digitally organize asset management tracking in the rentals business of the oilfield services side. So our goal is to make sure that none of the companies are overusing or using at all paper. We also focus specifically on the asset management side of things, because in the oilfield services, this is a huge challenge as known to be. And then we also, as a provider, cloud-based provider, feature the integrations with different systems and customize the systems to fit the needs of specific organizations. And as you can see, we're also trying to aspire and always aspire to the greatest standards in providing this solution of ours. So we are ISO certified for the quality management systems and the security management systems as well. So what RigER is, in a nutshell, for those of you, in addition to what we're going to be talking to today, I wanted to show the components or subsystems or subsets of what the capabilities of the system. So in RigER, you effectively can manage purchases, which means that you need to acquire the assets as far as the application of the system goes. You can manage sales of both the assets as well as sales of your services out of it. You can manage oilfield services, meaning that your billable items and ensure the correct billing as it applies to it. Equipment rentals is the biggest sub-module in the system, where you can manage all your different types of assets and rent them out and track them while they're being rented. And also see the history of any rental asset, as well as keep the maintenance records of it as well. You can manage your manufacturing capability or requirements, so to speak, if you are not only just an asset tracking organization or rentals organization, but also have a manufacturing shop. And you can invoice out of RigER, and that's what the financial component of the system implies, since you can manage from the prices to all the different stages of asset management and tracking, so you can bill and track time internally and bill your clients for your rental capabilities or for your rental activities rather in the system. RigER is configurable and customizable and modular. So it means that when we talk to our clients, we identify what is specifically they need to have enabled, and then we turn specific modules on and features. And then you have your own configuration, which becomes your competitive advantage in this day and age, which is very important. So all in all, it's one platform with multiple different capabilities. Some of our clients you can see here on the screen. Again, these are the companies, forward-looking companies would like to think, and we appreciate their business in the oilfield service and rental space. So any one of them and every one of them has a number of different assets at which they need to track and manage in the system. And that's what we did for them. We helped them to set up the system to manage exactly those assets in it. So let me pass the microphone to Michael to quickly touch on the 7 challenges of Oilfield Enterprise Asset Management as we know it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Nikolai. And yeah, today we will talk about challenges for the Oilfield Enterprise Asset Management, and we can provide you the list of 7 most common challenges which we faced with our clients. And first one is the poor lack of asset visibility for dispatching, understanding where they're at and what is available and what status and even at what location, field, site this particular unit located right now by records. Of course, some of the organizations use GPS tracking, but it's a different story. Repairs planning and spare parts ordering. It's become more important nowadays due to the issues with logistics and increasing the delivery time for all the parts. So repairs should be planning in advance, and clients need our clients asking us to create a specific ordering path for that purposes. Another big and very important problem is the maximizing uptime with predictive maintenance. So more and more clients are addressing that question right now and trying to understand how they can manage the predictive maintenance, build the maintenance program of the different types of the equipment, understanding how the maintenance work for different types of the items, for different manufacturers, etc. And it's very big trend nowadays. Of course, the optimize the assets utilizations and optimize the size of the fleet, understanding what's working, what's not. It's very important to the entire bottom line of the business and understanding the profitability. Another big issue for many organizations become the ensure regulatory compliance, different types of services, certifications, different types of testing, inspections, and this should be a part of the asset management for the organizations. The next issue is the low control of purchasing, understanding what's coming, what's ordered, what invoiced, and it's another question. And definitely, if you not use a specific system for the asset management, it's a very poor lack of reporting, understanding utilization, return of investment, total cost of ownership, and other things. And talking about one of the case from our experience, when we start working with the client, they told that yeah, they have Excel spreadsheet reporting tools, and one of the things which we realized that they have one report which they run every single day, understanding the locations of the units, very specific, time consuming. So 2 persons from 8 to 12, they run those reports and for different locations, and literally it's a full-time job for the one person, and this free report cost the company around 70K. So after the RigER customizations, we are creating this report, and it's just start automatically emailing to recipients, and the run is 2.4 seconds. So you understand the savings, the benefits of that. So again and again and again, there is no free reports in Excel. It's very time consuming.
So on that note, so we know, and I think again, everybody who's today joining us, we understand that we're all facing one or the other challenges out of the one that we've listed. So let us just touch on what actually oilfield rental equipment life cycle looks like as what we have discovered through our multiple implementations of the systems. So I won't bore you with many diagrams. Again, it's going to be more of an explanatory material, but it's important for us to be on the same page. So enterprise asset management is done out of, or usually implies several things. So we have to implement this, we have to assess the system, we have to plan, and then we have to implement the system to have it all in place. So basically, you have to have the knowledge of what you want to organize, and then move on with organization of the system itself. So equipment cycle. An equipment cycle, when we talk about the oilfield assets, it includes a number of different steps. So first, I mean, you have to basically order equipment and understand basic requirements for it to operate. Then you have to manage start up. Then you have to manage the operations and maintenance cycles of this equipment. Then you need to have the support. You need to have to monitor the equipment either on site or remotely. You need to also, by tracking those activities, you need to see how you can optimize the data that you get and optimize then the operations of it. And then you also have to upgrade equipment as the time comes. So equipment has its life cycle from the cradle to grave, and being able to manage it effectively is a critical piece of any asset management system. So what we do in RigER, we start with a purchase. So basically in RigER, you can manage all your vendor information, and then you can purchase equipment and allocate it to a specific shop. You can also sub-rent equipment and from a vendor, and then have it all have it available as your own or is not your own. So you have two types of equipment in RigER. So then what you also can do, taking it a little bit one step further. So when you purchase it and it's at your shop, you can also not only have one asset, but you can create assemblies of the assets, which is just a unique combination of different components that become available as part of your rental fleet. So you then, when in the first case, and then you can dispose or replace that item and retire it as a system. So every step of that process is tracked in RigER. So you can exchange items between one shop and between the shop and the yard, which means that you can track that movement, and at any moment in time you can see where your equipment is, because quite often what we've noticed is that equipment get lost in transition, and it's important to keep track of it. So then when we just add another layer of complexity to how you manage your assets life cycle in RigER is that when we add equipment movement, so when it's become available for the rentals and it sits in yard, well, you can then dispatch equipment in a form of rental ticket, and then it becomes available in the field, and then it goes into the client through the sales process. But then when equipment requires maintenance, so we have the capability in the system to organize maintenance activities through the maintenance module, which allows you to keep track of all the maintenance activities. And when the equipment is broken and requires repair, so we have the repairs and inspection capabilities as part of the repairs, inspection, and maintenance module, which allows you to keep track of the repairs activities and the costs. And inspection becomes essential to prevent some of the repairs or plan for them. So then after the adding another layer of complexity as far as the lifecycle management in RigER goes, so we can also add such thing as repair outside of the organization. So you have offsite repairs sometimes, which means that you don't know what happens when you send it all out. So inspections allows you either to repair it on your own, or you can repair it with a vendor as a service organization where your assets are going to and from, which is quite often the case in the oilfield services business. So every step of that specific diagram allows to be tracked in the system through a series of different documents, and then they can be reported, analyzed, and then processed for operational decision making. So this was just a general overview of what the life cycle in RigER looks like. So let's just continue and talk about the RigER features for the EAM module.
Yeah, as Nikolai mentioned, everything starts from the purchases. And when we talk about purchases, we have a specific purchase module where you can run everything through the purchase orders, bill of lading, purchase invoices, reports, dashboards, and as you developing this further, it will be supply chain management settings. The sub-rentals is another thing. So I mentioned again, you can set up the purchase orders for the sub-rentals, run sub-rental agreements, sub-rental tickets, reports, dashboards, and include those sub-rentals to the supply chain management as well. So talking about the master data and the core of our settings for the asset tracking, so rental units and unit numbers, and the rental units and unit numbers can have attributes, different combinations of the units, assembly mentioned by Nikolai, packages, combo units, different types of the settings which we can use for that rental units. And of course, we track usage of the rental units and the utilization of the rental units as well. And other assets which we have in RigER, specific assets, we have trucks and trailers, will help us to manage services and move items from one location to another. And of course, the inventory and this part of the inventory, which is most important for asset management, will be spare parts and repair kits, maintenance kits, which we can create to move forward with the asset management. Here's an example of the unit number card in RigER. You see we have lots of information about model, color, the certification expired, manufacturer year, manufacturer notes, serial numbers, model type, and another information about purchasing, days in fleet, vendor, and current status, which is, for example, for this unit is deployed, the current location, days in status, the last document, the total revenue, total purchase value, and total cost of ownership and return of investment. Definitely, each unit has a history, and we can see all the repair history. We can see the maintenance history and history of all the attributes as well. So the units could be well maintained in RigER, and we will see the full list of units history. And to track all those changes, we use unit number statuses, which we have 18 statuses right now, and number is growing. Common statuses are deployed and need repair and ready to rent, but we have some specific statuses like reserved and wrecked or assembled, scrapped. So different types for different purposes. Another module which we extensively use with the assets are the pricing and rentals, which is could have reservations and backups in it, and some of the specific settings like swap or sales of the items, what we can do in the particular location. If something goes wrong, we can convert the rental job to sales tickets. Big component of the asset management is the inspection, maintenance, and repairs. We usually combine those three modules together, and because they can run simultaneously, separately, but they added value to the entire unit life cycle. From inspections, you can move to maintenance, to the repairs, or even using manufacturers and rework. So as you see, the entire life cycle of the unit includes lots of different events, lots of different documents, lots of different statuses. And of course, we need to track the unit from day one to the last day. It could be disposal of the unit. Different dashboards showing just an example of what we have as a rework and repairs dashboard. The disposal is the the final step for disposal or sales could be a final step of the unit life cycle. Dispatching, we use different format, for different purposes to dispatch rental units and move them from one location to another location, understand the status of each rental unit, where it's available and where they're located. And we have more than 100 different reports showing you different information about the units. And you see the rental units category is probably the biggest one in RigER, and the number of reports is growing every single release. And let me show you some use cases from our experience how the asset management can be very beneficial for the client. The example, the first example which I'd like to present you, the case with one of our clients when we have the client who runs the mobile power generations, and they had around 1 million of the parts budget, and 60% of this budget was maintenance, 40% was repairs. And the challenge was the monthly maintenance for all units based on the calendar month. So it was a standard approach when you provide a fully maintenance procedures for each particular month. Say January, you run monthly. In April, you run quarterly. Half of the year cycle and annual cycle in December. It was very tough to track every single unit calendar, and that is why it was a request to add this function to RigER. Step one, when we implement RigER, we create the individual schedule for each unit. So each unit starts running individual schedule, individual calendar, and it was not kind of one service for all the units for the entire rental fleet, which provide the company a little bit of the distribution of the expenses for the year. The second step, the maintenance module implementation, when we use deployed days versus calendar days, with the 69% of the utilization provide us around 30% of savings, because we run maintenance more seldom, and it just because of that we have around 30% of savings. And the third step, when we added telemetry, so just to increase the accuracy of the number of running hours, and start calculating maintenance cycles based not on the deployed days but by running hours, which provide us kind of a 10% of savings. So again, our estimation of the primary for the maintenance implementation provide this client around the 40% of savings, and they continue experiment with different periods for the running hours for different models, different manufacturers, which is a very interesting exercise, and again, it gives them a lot of savings for that. Another client, they provided the light towers to the oil field, and they creating those building those light towers, manufacturing those light towers by themselves. There was several experimental modules, and they create an extensive inspection list and inspect all the aspects before and after the job. And based on that, we're creating the defective list analysis, which was very useful information to upgrade and improve the entire models of new light towers which they create, which they build for their clients and for themselves as well. So very interesting case when we collecting the defect list, and they try to understand the statistics of those defects. So how many failures they have in January, February, etc., and understanding this not only by numbers, but numbers by modules and circumstance when it happened. Another application which can be widely used for small parts, for small equipment, it's high volume, to speed up the high volume transactions. We use barcoding, and let me show you just a short video of how it's used on the mobile application of RigER. Again, you can create the rental ticket based on that, and widely use the barcode scanners for equipment shipment, equipment returns, and periodic counting. So the inventory counting and items counting. So as soon as the scanner is working, you see it's read 3 barcodes and 3 unit numbers populated here. So as you see at the bottom, this is how the barcode scanners works during within tracking purposes for usually small and mid-sized units. Another application which speed up the process and provide full visibility and create control of the rental units movements. It's mobile app which we have, and this mobile app not only provide the information about rental units, but other aspects. So rental tickets, inspection cards, maintenance, repairs, safety documents, perform internal jobs, and provide reports, especially a history report of the unit, so the field technician understand what was the last repair, what was the last maintenance, what was the change for the unit, and what kind of problem they can expect of this unit. And of course, when we extend the business, when we moving forward and growing business different geographical locations, the asset tracking system gives you an ability to scale the business very easily. And sometimes we not even know that clients open new locations because they just use the same process everywhere, and it's very simple and very easy. So we have reservations in our system. We have equipment services, movements, and connecting with mobile applications give lots of benefits to the client and support the constant growth of the business. And a couple examples of our clients. So client success, arrival downhole tools, are clients of us. We started with them 5 years ago, and creating specific downhole tools, rentals, software, which track all the items for the drilling motors. Very, very successful implementation, and RigER become a critical, mission critical software for this client. Another client, La Porte, Texas. They run around 200 specific rental units. It was very fast implementation and very successful client. They use mobile application and enter real-time tickets in the field. Another client located in Fort Worth, operating in the 10 different states, and running around 2,500 generators. Now the numbers growing, and RigER is the solution which helped them to manage the entire business. Another client in Midland, Texas, starting from 3 persons and growing to a significant number of employees. The rental units started from around 300 rental units, growing to several 35,000 of rental units. And yes, without trucking, without building those components together, it will be really tough to manage, tough to track. Another client from us, a Canadian client from Edmonton, operating in US as well, and other countries in the world. So several group of companies. They track the safety equipment and providing full information about what the status of each particular unit. Another client in Canada, which is the safety focusing and having around 1,000 of rental units, running this business for 4 years already. So to make a short conclusion about what we have discussed today. So asset rental management tool help to enhance the oil field operations through the rental real-time asset visibility, cloud and mobile assets management, achieve complete accuracy because of tracking every single moment, every single step, increase assets utilization, increase operation speeds and efficiency, optimize purchases, reduce operation costs, forecast spending and budget, and definitely identify trends in the business, understanding where we're going and how our units perform. This is everything for today. We are open for your questions. Please ask it.
Yeah, so you can see the Q&A section in the bottom control panel. In the bottom Zoom control panel, just type in any questions. And actually, I do have already one question. So when you speak about regulatory compliance, does RigER provide ability to track certifications, maintenance, and safe operation procedures for assets only? Does it provide ability to track safety-related certifications and training for people also?
Yes, the short answer is yes. So RigER track all the certificates, all the information. Moreover, we run reports and provide some notification about expire dates. So every single month, beginning of the month, we run the report. What needs to be recertified in next 60 or 90 days, depending on what kind of schedule a client prefer. And talking about employees, yeah, same thing, safety tickets, all the certificates, skills, traceable as well.
Yes, and I wanted to add that we will actually talk about safety during our next webinar next Thursday. So just stay tuned for the invite.
I have another question from Nick, and I'd like to address this to Nikolai. Is it possible to track in RigER non-rental units? We just discussed that yesterday.
Yes, we can. However, RigER has been primarily designed to track only rental assets per se, but we have the capability to track different kind of assets, which means that you can keep track of maintenance records of your trucks, for example, or some other non-rentable, but used in your daily operations assets as well. There's a couple of ways how to do it, but we can definitely set it up. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I don't have any more questions.
I see one more from Alyssa. Do you have asset depreciation set up in RigER? Yes, we do. We run asset depreciation for some of our clients, and it's an optional thing. Usually we see that the clients prefer to run depreciation in the accounting system, but it's possible to set up depreciation in RigER as well. And the final question from Tom: how easy is to see the utilization of group of units? Yeah, we have a specific reports, and we have specific settings where you can see utilization by the entire fleet, by the group of units, and by individual unit and individual unit number. So depending on the settings and depending on what kind of task we have, we can run the utilization and understand the difference between different groups of rental units.
So all in all, I think it's amazing to see how you can be either personalized as far as tracking the assets in RigER, because as you've seen, we have multiple statuses. And one of the previous questions we had in other webinars was, why do we have so many different statuses? And the number of different statuses in the standard asset tracking system could be maybe 3, 4. So in our cases, it's more than a dozen. It allows you to dissect and analyze equipment in its different stages of the life cycle in the system. It can be deployed, it can be in repair, it can be under the maintenance. So all these different statuses allow you actually to dive deeper and analyze and get insights as far as what happens to your equipment at any moment in time. And then in the end, it always driven by the need to see where we can save the money or be more efficient. And that's a critical thing, especially when your assets are the key thing that generates you the money. So you need to know anything and everything about it. And that's what the RigER's asset management capabilities are designed for. So I think we've come to the top of the hour. Primarily, we wanted to have it a little shorter, so more intense. We're just at 40 minutes. So thank you again, everyone, for being with us today. Stay tuned for the next webinars on a weekly basis, which next one will be about safety. And I think on that note, we're ready to close it, is right, Dasha?
Correct.
Okay, so thank you very much and have a great the rest of the day, guys.